What's up guys, it's Tom here and welcome to the Liverpool-Leicester City post-match analysis video, and what a win! I think Liverpool fully deserved to win this game. We should have scored 3 or 4 goals. Leicester City had their first shot after like 65 minutes and their first shot on target was the goal that they scored from in the 80th minute. So nobody can say that this Liverpool win was a fluke or it was lucky. And the penalty was 100% a penalty. And I can see a lot of rival fans on Twitter and on social media saying that it was a soft penalty. The fact of the matter is, the rules say that if there is contact, if the attacker is kicked and Mane is clearly kicked by Albrighton, it doesn't have to be a leg breaker challenge. Even if it's a small kick, if there is contact, then the penalty can be given. And the referee straight away pointed to the spot, and VAR was right in not overruling the decision. And James Milner, I mean, this guy is 32, 33 years old and he has ice in his veins. After getting a brilliant assist to man of the match Sadio Mane, he scores an absolutely monumentally important penalty in the 95th minute after Mane was fouled to give Liverpool a well-deserved win. And Mane was, I thought, unplayable today. He was absolutely brilliant. At one point he came back to the 6-yard area to tackle the Leicester attacker. He was playing right back and left winger at the same time. Absolutely brilliant performance by Mane. He was like sharper and quicker than anybody else on the football pitch, and his goal was well taken. James Milner with an absolutely brilliant assist. Mane runs clear and slots it home. My biggest issue in this game is that Liverpool, it looked like we were a little bit too comfortable in the second half, especially like when there was 30 minutes, the first 30 minutes of the second half. Liverpool had a lot of possession and we actually created numerous chances, but Mohamed Salah and Firmino, maybe because of tiredness, maybe because of playing too many games in a row. Remember that we had a Champions League game, a really big Champions League game, just 2.5 days before this one. Maybe they were tired, but they just weren't that like sharp and clinical and ruthless in front of goal. And Liverpool almost got punished because of that. And this would have been such a momentum killer, because after Liverpool winning their first 7 games in a row and Liverpool actually playing really well for 80 minutes, it was a sucker punch when Leicester City scored. It was a defensive, like a little bit lapse of concentration. And there was a shot from Maddison pretty close to the goalkeeper, but I felt that on another day Adrian maybe should have saved it. Maybe Alisson saves that, we don't know that, but it was very, very harsh on Liverpool to concede from Leicester City's first shot. I mean, Leicester are a very good team, but for Liverpool to restrict them to no shots for like 60-65 minutes was remarkable. It's a remarkable performance. We controlled the game and we actually created numerous chances. And as I said, Salah and Firmino really should have scored one of their chances. And Chowdhury, or whatever his name is, the Leicester substitute with the microphone head who came on in the second half, he kicked Salah in such a nasty way. I felt that should have been a red card. That was only a yellow card, but Salah got injured because of that, and it looked like it's an ankle injury. Thankfully, there is a 2-week international break where Salah can rest up and hopefully heal, but that could be a nasty one. And also how Jose Perez tried to fight the whole Liverpool team. The rumor has it, even though I haven't seen it on the replays, the rumor has it that Robertson laughed in Jose Perez's face at the final whistle after Liverpool scored that late penalty, and Jose Perez took a great offense and he tried to take on the whole Liverpool team. So it was almost like a crowd fight. Thankfully, Van Dijk and Adrian and the experienced players came in and tried to calm things down. By the way, what a celebration by James Milner. I mean, if I would have scored a 95th minute penalty to extend Liverpool's winning run to 17 games in a row, I would have gone mental, I would have jumped in the crowd or something like that. James Milner just does this. Like, what a player, what a character as well. And I think it's absolutely massive that we have James Milner in the squad. And Salah didn't take the penalty because he was off the pitch, but I would have wanted Milner to take the penalty even if Salah was on the pitch, but thankfully we didn't find out who was the designated penalty taker. I think when Salah is on the pitch, he's the first choice penalty taker, but James Milner has such a good record from the penalty spot. He scored like 90 or 95% of his penalties, so I was absolutely delighted that Milner took the penalty, and the way that he scored, sending the goalkeeper the wrong way, was brilliant. I mean, just look at the stats. If you are wondering whether Liverpool deserved this game or not. 19 shots to Liverpool, just 2 shots to Leicester City. 8 shots on target to Liverpool, 1 shot on target by Leicester City, and that was the goal. I mean, it just tells the whole story. This was one of the most one-sided, one of the most dominant performances of Liverpool at Anfield, and how it was so close, it's a huge credit, of course, to Leicester as well, who were very well organized. Brendan Rodgers, I think, set up his team almost perfectly. They restricted Liverpool, in my opinion, to not a lot of great chances, and I think on another day, if Salah and Firmino would have had maybe a week's rest, we would have won 4-1 today, or even more. So that's the bottom line. I think Liverpool have the chance to win the Premier League title just because we have this habit of winning no matter how we play. Against Salzburg, we played brilliantly for 30 minutes, and then a bit like this for the rest of the game. Salzburg came back from 3-0 down, and we could still win the game. Yes, I know it's the Champions League, but that just demonstrated how Liverpool can find ways of winning, and this is the perfect example. I think when the Leicester goal went in, a lot of Liverpool fans, me included, thought, here we go again, 2 points dropped, Manchester City will win tomorrow against Wolves, they will close the gap to just 3 points, and then the momentum will start to build on Manchester City. Liverpool will start feeling the pressure, and we will have the Man United game next. And you know, Man United away, anything can happen, even though Man United are probably, they have their worst team for the past like 25 years. Still, that game, Man United-Liverpool, anything can happen. Man United would love nothing more than to spoil Liverpool's title challenge. And I'm so happy that the narrative is now, can Manchester City keep up? The difference between Man City and Liverpool now is 8 points. Liverpool starting off with a perfect 24 points from a possible 24. It's very early in the season, but this is exactly what we wanted. And also, let's talk about Tottenham. I mean, Tottenham lost 3-0 to Brighton. I wish Hugo Lloris a speedy recovery, because he had an absolutely nasty injury after a horrendous howler of a goalkeeping mistake. I mean, I don't understand how Hugo Lloris, who is a World Cup winning goalkeeper, keeps making these mistakes. We will talk about his injury a little bit later, but he had a simple cross, and instead of punching it over the bar or punching it out into the field, he catches it, but he knows that momentum is carrying him back to the goal. Just to avoid carrying the ball over the line, he just like drops it. He doesn't throw it out like that. He just drops it. And while falling back, of course, the Brighton striker Mopey scores into the empty net from like 1 yard out, and Hugo Lloris falls back and falls on his elbow, and he breaks it like this. It was a horrendous injury, and I think Hugo Lloris' season is over. But it would have been preventable if he just punches it over the bar and Brighton have a corner. By the way, Brighton fully deserved to win this game 3-0. They were actually by far the better team. I mean, Tottenham looks like a fighter who got battered just a few days ago, and they were battered by Bayern Munich 7-2. By the way, Bayern lost at home to Hoffenheim in the Bundesliga, so weird results all around world football right now. And Tottenham have massive issues, I think, because their second choice goalkeeper, Gazzaniga, he came on and he makes almost a similar mistake, punches the ball out to the Brighton striker Connolly, who had his first start in the Premier League, scoring 2 goals. What a performance by him. Absolutely outrageous, brilliant. So Connolly says thank you very much. He scores another one, 2-0 at half-time, and Tottenham never recovered. Connolly scored another brilliant goal, and now I think Tottenham need to do something, because if they don't sack their manager, it's very possible that Tottenham will finish in mid-table, because the club is in disarray. The players are not pulling in the same direction, and it looks like you know, they lost their way a little bit. I mean, not a little bit, a lot, because they got 2 points away from home from the last 10 games. That's 2 draws and 8 defeats. That's relegation form. No matter what anyone says, I mean, Tottenham won't get relegated, don't get me wrong. They still have the good players. But they look a million miles away from finishing, not even in the top 4, but in the top 6. I think Leicester City look much better than Tottenham right now. Leicester City look much better than Man United. And Leicester have a very favourable run of games. They have quite the run. They will play Burnley, Southampton, Crystal Palace, Arsenal, Brighton, Everton, Watford, Aston Villa, Norwich. That's a run where Leicester can really cement their place in the top 4. And I think Brighton, I mean, they just showed what a turnaround they had under Steve Cooper, I think their manager. But yeah, let me know what they think about Graham Potter. Sorry, not Steve Cooper. That's the new Swansea manager. Graham Potter, brilliant job that he's doing at Brighton. They are playing a lot of great stuff, beautiful football. And huge praise goes to them, but Tottenham need to be worried. Their fans need to be worried, because they are going down here. Liverpool, on the other hand, 8 wins out of 8. Oh my goodness, perfect way to go into the international break. I really hope Salah's injury is not serious. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. See you later, guys. Goodbye.